welcome to another episode of The Overcoming Life with L.L. Armstrong. And you're gonna see me shift some of my content, but I'm gonna show you the things that this year has been like in terms of the summer and the fall, where I've been spending my life a lot in my backyard, meditating on the Word, talking to the Lord, doing things out there, trying to cultivate my plants. And I love plants, as you know, some of you that follow. And I am rekindling the use of my gift as an artist. So I was been moved on for several weeks to finish some things that I've started. This one in particular, we'll be showing you something on this. We'll be making a video on this painting behind me. So I am finishing touching up on some things, and we'll give you the backstory on that and show you some of the progress that was made to finish this painting. But in this video, I want to show you the conclusion or some of the process of what I was able to do and accomplish this year with my plants. I love philodendrons. I love anything with big leaves. I want to cultivate that and see if I can be a success at growing those type of plants. I started it absolutely many years ago when we moved here from Atlanta to Mississippi, and I had several plants that I brought with me, but I ended up losing them all. They ended up dying, and we lost a lot of things. It was definitely a transitional year, the year that I really had to start hearing the voice of the Lord and obey his call on my life. So, and maybe I'll give that testimony one day in the near future. But the Lord has blessed me to kind of, have some of these plants back in my life again. I love these plants, and even discovered even how to grow them best in the environment that we have. And so what I've learned in terms of using the pots and all of that. And I was able to plant last year. I planted or had some vinca, which is periwinkle. And amazingly, to my surprise, I didn't know that there was a periwinkle or vinca that had somewhat of a perennial tendency. And the ones I purchased, or I thought that I purchased, were annuals. But I know, and I believe with all my heart, that I did buy annuals. But those annuals kept coming back for several years before they stopped. And then here recently, in the last couple of years, I've noticed that some of the vinca that I've purchased recently may have been a perennial brand. And so what I discovered is, like, in the spring comes a pot who had no vinca in it, all of a sudden had vinca coming up out of it in the spring. It was just laying there dormant. It's just dirt in the pot. And I started to see these little tiny leaves pop up. I thought they were weeds at first. And so I let them grow for a while. And then I started, when they got about a couple of inches tall, I recognized the shape of the leaf. I said, oh, those are flowers that are growing. And so I began to spread them around in different pots. And lo and behold, these plants just took off. Whatever pot I put them in, they began to flourish. They began to just take off and bush out in colorful blooms. And they're still blooming. Here it is in November, and they are still blooming. And so even my planter, which was not a planter, I use it as one. It's actually a fire pit that I use in the summer, or excuse me, a fire pit that I use in the winter. I converted to a planter in the spring and summer, part of the fall now, since the plants are still in there, and plant flowers in it. And so I load that up with flowers, and they've been blooming and growing. My philodendron, they have taken off. They were struggling, and I found out what I was doing was working against them. I would bring them inside, and they have, mostly dormant during the winter, but, strong green I water them, but they weren't putting out much shoots or leaves, new leaves. And then I plant them in the ground. But I should have been more mindful of the soil. That I should have kind of dug out more of that soil that we have in the backyard that really was too dry and hard in the summer. It tended to compact and be hard and dry and wouldn't let the roots actually stretch out like they wanted to. So I ended up, uh, well, I should have dug them out, but I didn't. But I noticed they didn't do much in the dirt like I expected them to. And I know it was the dirt. But what I did this year was different. I actually got bigger pots and I put good soil in those pots with a little fertilizer and kept them watered about every 3 or 4 days. And man, they just grew and stretched and multiplied. And I'm just so excited about the growth as seeing those plants take off the way they did. Same thing. I'm looking at, my mom gave me elephant ears, a pot, two of them actually. One of them I lost, and I had them in the dirt for probably the last 4 or 5 years. And they didn't do much. They would get maybe a foot out of the ground, have about 3 or 4 leaves, and that's it. And I'm like, I know these plants are supposed to take off and grow and become huge. Um, but right at the beginning, maybe of September, I waited till September to decide to dig them out of the ground, put them in a pot of soil like I did the philodendron, and lo and behold, they started taking off. So now they have been shooting out these huge leaves in just the last 3 weeks. Well, all of them halfway through September, yeah. So maybe about halfway, 3 quarters through September, I put them in the pot, and they had all of October to grow. And yeah, here's the beginning of November, and they're huge. And so I expect that plant to do. I'm going to propagate them later on next year, but I expect that plant to do really, really well over the next course of next year. So the vinca has done very well. The philodendron have done well. I've got a new plant called the Tractor Seat. Found it on sale, little nothing. And, and that's what I like to do. I don't like to find them already huge. I know they'll grow huge, but I like the process of figuring out what that plant likes and then to see if I can create the conditions where they can thrive. As long as that plant is not too fickle, then I can work with it so that it can grow to its maximum size. And so we're going to propagate all of these plants in the spring. It just simply means we're going to multiply them. We're going to pull them out the pot, cut them in half, and kind of trim the roots down, and then put them back in some good dirt, water, good fertilizer, and then let it do its thing. And we should be able to almost double the amount of plants that we have for 2025. So this has been an exciting year, and I'm glad to have learned some new things along the way. And I'm going to add some variety. I want more big leaf plants that I'm discovering that are out there. I want the banana plant. I might do a dwarf banana plant. I don't want anything that's going to grow 25, 30 feet, but something that'll grow anywhere from maybe 8 to 12 feet. There's some other plants I'm researching that I would love to come across and find them small and on sale, and then create the condition again for them to multiply, grow, and to be propagated so that I can really develop a lush landscape in my backyard. That's the aim. And just have a tropical big leaf look accented with flowers of colorful blooms. That's kind of what I'm aiming at. And I believe I'm going to accomplish that. I'm going to attempt to accomplish that if the Lord allows it. So it's been a really good year with my plants in the backyard. So now I'm turning my attention in the fall, winter, to my art more. And there are several paintings I want to complete and do. And I'm going to uh, share that, make those videos. We'll be sharing that. And not just that, but we will be really just sharing uh, overcoming points, treasure nuggets of wisdom for living life and overcoming obstacles in life. I think people need to hear certain things because when they face problems and issues, um, they are not experienced or may not know how to deal with it or handle it. People panic, they stress, they make wrong decisions. So we want to be able to share insights and information about overcoming and about um, the wisdom that God gives out of His Word that helps us and develops us, our character, our thinking, the soul, so that we can live victoriously in this life. And I believe a lot of people are going to be hungry for knowing and willing to learn. And so we want to be able to share those things while we're sharing the gift of God to express His the creativity that He's given me, and hopefully to inspire others to use your gift and the creativity that God has given you. And so then we can all, we're supposed to bless each other and learn from each other and be inspired by each other by sharing and experiencing each other's gifts and insights. So I'm looking to learn from others, and I'm looking to teach what I know, and we want to be able to all grow together in the name of Jesus. So God bless you. This is another episode of The Overcoming Life, and hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to click like. Don't forget to subscribe, and also share this video if you think it's interesting with others. And we thank God for you. God bless you, and we see you next time right here on The Overcoming Life with LL Armstrong. God bless.